Hey,
Hi.
how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for taking the time out for the interview. I appreciate it.
Sure, no problem.
I just want to first start talking to you about growing up. You grew up as a child, of two published songwriters. You spent a lot of your early years in the studios growing up. So, when did you first
hmm
realize you wanted to become a singer for a career?
I think it was one day my dad, he was producing some girl, and I was like 13 or 14, and I was like, that song you wrote sucks. I don't like it. And he was like, we'll write something better.
Hmm.
And he left me in the studio for like an hour and a half and came back and I wrote this song and I sang it, recorded it and everything. He was like, he didn't, I mean, he knew I could sing, but he didn't know that this was ever going to be like something I really wanted to do. And after that, it just was like very clear, you know?
Yeah. Uh,
So,
okay, that's a cool story. Did that song ever end up getting
yeah.
used, or no?
Pardon me?
Did
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I mean, the girl used the song.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Uh,
And my mom would start asking me for words because she was signed, she had a different kind of deal than him. So
mhm.
she had to turn in a certain amount of songs a year and she'd be like, what should I put here? I'm like 13. I'm like, oh.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
you know, musically, who were some of your influences growing up?
Growing up, definitely have to be Ella Fitzgerald, Chaka Khan, Aretha's a big one, Stevie Wonder, and I started listening to Bob Dylan later, but
Hmm.
growing up with a lot of soul, R&B, classic, Motown,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Years later, you were admitted to NYU as part of the Clive Davis program of recorded music. What was that whole experience like for
Yeah.
you?
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, when I applied to school, I, my dad told me I had to go to college.
Hmm.
My mom told me, don't go to college unless you absolutely, know if that's what you want to do. Like, don't feel you have to go just to go. So I was like, okay, well, the only thing that I would want to go to college for is recording, like production. So I only applied to 2 schools, and I had a C average from high school. So I
Hmm.
was like, I know I'm not going to get into I applied
Yeah.
to UCLA and NYU. And when I got that package from NYU, I like fainted. And it was a great experience. I mean, moving to New York, being young and just on my own, having New York City as like your campus,
Hmm.
just the professors that I got to learn from were just the top that they could possibly find. I mean, now they have Swiss Beats there,
Yeah.
like it was always the best, and I really love that experience.
Yeah. So you mentioned
Yeah.
you only applied to 2 schools, and you had like a C average, in high school. What was your backup plan if you hadn't got into either one?
Um, hmm. I mean, the strange thing is like at the same time I didn't think that I would get in. I also never thought anything else was an option.
Hmm.
Like I never kind of gave myself a plan B.
Yeah.
And uh, so yeah, I mean, I just was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I
Hmm.
mean, I probably would have just started my career right away, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I'm glad I waited.
Yeah. All right. So after graduating, you were awarded the distinctions of most likely to get signed and most likely to win a Grammy. And
Yeah.
years later, you did get signed. So tell me about the what led to your signing with MBK, J Records.
it was really crazy. I was working co-check at Santos, this club, New York. I don't know if you're in New York, but
Yeah.
I worked at this club as doing co-check. And this guy came up to me. I used to like play my guitar when it was slow. And he hit me up and he was like, oh, he came over and he was like, oh, I have a studio. I'm giving music online. And I sent it to my MySpace and he played it for his managers, who then I met with the following day. And they were like, oh my God, you know, we have to do something with you. We don't need a contract. We just want to work with you. And I told them, I said, that's fine. I said, but one thing is very strict. I'm strict on. I don't want to take any label meetings until we have at least 3 songs like produced and finished, because I don't want to go to a label and then have them pick me apart and tell me how I should sound and look and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to have a package before we go.
Yeah.
And they said, okay. And then, like 2 weeks later, he's like, well, there's this one place I really want to take you. It's just like friends and family. And they, you know, they just want to hear your stuff. It's unofficial, no label, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, fine. Go to the meeting, and it turns out being NBK.
Oh, wow.
Now, this guy that was managing me, quote unquote, at the time, he didn't know that NBK was a management firm.
Yeah.
So I go there, you know, I play for Jeff and everyone at NBK, and at the end of the meeting, everyone's like talking across the table. It was so awkward because it was this one guy, his partner, and then another guy that I had met the night before. We're all going into this meeting saying they were my management, and like I feel like MBK could kind of tell it was something weird about it.
Yeah.
So as everyone's like talking across this big table, Janine from MBK, she's like, oh hey, by the way, email me your link to your YouTube, and she gave me her card. I didn't know what was really coming. She hit me up after I emailed her and was like, look, you have it, we want you, you know, and that's that. Like, we can do this thing right away. And it was hard because I felt really bad. These guys really wanted to manage me, and they wanted to be a part of everything, but then I had to say, like, this is something I've wanted my whole life, and I can't pass it up over my emotions and feeling bad, you know? Like, it's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
So the next week, they took me to Jay, and I played for everyone, and I got signed, like, the next week. It was crazy.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. So.
Talk to me about your voice and your style of music, because you have a unique style. You know, how do you describe your style of music?
I would say it's like urban. I was just on this question. It's like quirky R&B soul, I guess. It's different. It's like it's R&B, but you know, I play the guitar, and so there's sometimes a rock influence. There's sometimes like a very classic influence that I'll pull from older music and update it, make it current. So it's just, but overall, it's just a fresh new sound. So.
Yeah, definitely is. So, you know, you developed your talent for writing, as you mentioned early on in your life. You know, can you talk about your writing process when you're putting together a song?
Yeah, it varies a lot actually, because sometimes, like, I'll wake up at 4 in the morning and be half asleep like just grab my phone and hit record. And I'll wake up the next morning and it'll be like a whole song.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh shoot, like I won't even know that I'm doing it. Or sometimes I'll just sit there and like it's like literally a whole song will just come out like it was already written, and I just, it came through me. But I sometimes I don't even feel like I wrote the song.
Yeah.
Then there's other times when it becomes work as well, because at this level it's not just a hobby that I do when I feel like it. Like I write as a job. So when it's that kind of writing, I try to be as visual as possible. I try to get the basic idea of what the concept of the song is, and then use a lot of word substitutions, like what's a better word I can find for something that's simple in the lyric,
Yeah.
And I mean, I just kind of keep doing it until I feel like, okay, I got it now.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Okay. So tell me, what you're currently working on. Do you have your debut album in the works?
I do, and I'm actually not supposed to say, but
Oh, okay.
it's the end. Like this next month or so, it's being wrapped, because what can happen is you start recording, you make an album, and you want to record so many songs because you want to really get a sense of, what's the sound of the album or what direction I'm going. And after a while, you can literally record forever and ever, because every time you write a new song, like what's happened with me is I've been working with this particular producer, Pop, and Oakwood, and like once we started working, the production and writing combination, it just trumped every song that I had before.
Oh, wow.
And like, yeah, and every like I come in with some of the songs that I came in with when I got my publishing and recording deal that everyone was so blown away by, they're now like 20 times more blown away by new stuff. So, and it'll continue to happen because talent it evolves. So you just keep getting better, and I don't want to go on for forever and ever with this album.
Yeah.
We're wrapping it up this time.
Okay.
Fine.
And when do you foresee that being released?
Oh, I see it being released in the fall.
Okay.
Towards the end of the year. I'm hoping. I'm hoping not much sooner, only because I want to really get enough time out there to establish a really, really wide audience.
Yeah.
Like I feel bad because there's such a demand among the people that follow me now, and it's a very core group that I'm like, that's my people,
Yeah.
And I know they're waiting so patiently, but at the same time, like 3,000 people is not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
You gotta get out there. We gotta get the singles out, and then when it's 3 million, then hey, let's do my album, And that's basically it. I want to set up some singles in the summer, spring, and then drop that album.
Cool. I don't know if you can talk about it, but who did you work with on the album in terms of producers and any features?
Features? I honestly wouldn't be mad if there wasn't any features. One of my favorite albums of all time is Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Didn't have any features. I don't think Alicia's debut album had any features either. I'm not sure about those ones. But I feel like, features have become such a big thing these days, but sometimes it overshadows one person or another, or you get a feature because you're not established, the person is not going to give you their best. You know, like,
Yeah.
why would this huge person give me the verse that they could put with Eminem or Rihanna or whatever? You know, so
Mhm.
there is a possibility of features. If they are, it's probably going to be rappers.
Okay.
I'm not sure who, I can't say. Well, I kind of know, but I can't say.
Okay. No problem.
And production-wise, I've worked with Alex the Kid. He produced the song Valentine.
Mhm.
I've worked with Shucks, who produced Empire State of Mind.
Yeah.
Worked with tons of people, man. I've worked with, well, like I said, Pop and Oak.
Yeah.
Worked with Bink.
Okay.
Worked with Science. And, Salon Remy.
Yep.
God, I'm probably like big ones. But, I think that's Jeff Basker. Yeah. And also my dad and I, you know.
Okay.
My dad really started the production process, like opened that door for me.
Yeah.
And then college not closed it, but finished it. Like, I feel like it was something that I had started getting into at an early age.
Mhm.
So we're a production team, like anywhere from the track, but more specifically on the vocals. Like, so the school will be getting some songs on the album as well.
Okay.
That we produced, and I'm excited about that.
Cool. And did you handle you handled all the writing by yourself?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All the writing, all the vocals, and some of the production. So.
Mhm. Very nice. I respect that.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's all I had for you. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, not that I can think of.
Cool.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem. And I wish you the best of luck with the new album, and I look forward to hearing it when it comes out.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.